Imagine walking through two apartments. Both are nestled in the same vibrant city, situated in a neighborhood that feels welcoming and familiar, with rent that doesn't stray too far from the average. As you step inside the first apartment, you notice the lavish decor that speaks volumes about its occupant's lifestyle. The owner, earning $95,000 a year, has adorned their living space with a massive 75-inch television mounted on the wall, a sleek leather sectional that set them back $4,000, and a kitchen teeming with appliances, many still tucked away in their original boxes. The closets brim with clothes, many still bearing their price tags, while a spare bedroom has been transformed into a storage unit for items long forgotten. Now, picture the resident of this apartment checking their bank account, a knot tightening in their stomach as they realize they are mere paychecks away from financial turmoil. In stark contrast, the second apartment belongs to someone earning $52,000 annually. Upon entering, you are greeted by an aura of simplicity. A modest couch, a reasonably sized television, and a kitchen equipped with only the essentials, tools that are regularly utilized. The closet holds clothes that see the light of day, and the spare bedroom is genuinely a bedroom, a space for rest rather than storage. This individual approaches their bank account with a sense of calm confidence. They have nearly 18 months' worth of expenses saved and invest 20% of every paycheck. Though they earn less, their financial security is nearly 10 times greater than that of the first resident. This isn't merely a story about income, it's about the often overlooked relationship between material possessions and financial well-being that many fail to grasp. The first person isn't necessarily bad with money. They don't gamble or indulge in extravagant habits. They've simply cultivated a lifestyle that demands every dollar they earn to sustain it. Meanwhile, the second person has uncovered a paradigm shift. They've understood that owning less doesn't equate to living worse, it's about living with intention. This deliberate approach to life fosters a financial margin that wealthier individuals seldom experience. Today, I invite you to explore the minimalist money rules that distinguish those who consistently maintain financial stability from those who struggle, irrespective of their income levels. These principles do not advocate for deprivation, rather, they encourage a profound understanding of the hidden costs associated with every item you possess. Let's start with a pivotal concept that will transform the way you perceive every purchase you make from here on out. Everything you own incurs a cost not just once, but twice. The first cost is apparent, it's the price tag, the number on your receipt. However, there's a second, often neglected cost that can be significantly greater than the first. This includes expenses related to storage, maintenance, mental energy, and opportunity cost. Consider that treadmill you bought. It's not just a piece of equipment, it occupies space in your home, and space itself comes at a price, roughly $30 to $50 per square foot annually in urban areas. With a treadmill taking up about 20 square feet, you could be looking at an annual implicit rent of $600 to $1,000 just to house exercise equipment that likely serves as a clothes hanger most days. The second cost also encompasses upkeep. That boat sitting in your driveway demands winterization, cleaning, registration, insurance, and occasional repairs. The general guideline suggests that annual maintenance costs can run about 10% of the boat's value. A $30,000 boat, for instance, costs around $3,000 a year to own, even if it never sees the water. But it doesn't stop there. The second cost further includes mental energy. Every item you own occupies a slice of your attention. It needs to be cleaned, organized, maintained, insured, worried over, and eventually disposed of. Research indicates that visual clutter raises cortisol levels and diminishes your brain's focus ability. Your possessions are literally taxing you in ways you might not consciously recognize. Moreover, there's the opportunity cost to consider. Each dollar tied up in possessions is a dollar you can't invest. That $15,000 home gym setup could instead be $15,000 in index funds, potentially growing to $50,000 or more over 15 years. You didn't just purchase gym equipment, you traded away future financial freedom. When you tally these hidden costs, many possessions end up costing more to maintain than they did to acquire. The purchase price is merely the entry fee. The ongoing costs accumulate for as long as you retain the item. Minimalists grasp this intuitively. They don't avoid possessions because they dislike nice things. They sidestep them because they have calculated the true cost and determined that most items simply aren't worth it. This leads us to the first rule that minimalists adhere to with unwavering discipline: always calculate the cost per use before making any purchase. Before you buy anything, take a moment to estimate how many times you'll realistically use it. Divide the total cost by that number to arrive at the cost per use, which provides the only honest measure of value. For instance, a $200 jacket worn twice costs $100 per wear, whereas a $400 jacket worn 200 times costs just $2 per wear. The pricier jacket, in terms of value, is actually the more economical choice. This kind of calculation swiftly dismantles most impulse purchases. That $300 kitchen gadget you plan to use twice a year amounts to $150 per use in the first year, an exorbitant price for whatever task it performs. Conversely, a $30 tool you use weekly ends up costing less than 60 cents per use over the same period. Cost per use also uncovers genuinely worthwhile purchases. A $2,000 mattress, used nightly for 10 years, costs about 55 cents per use, an extraordinary value for something that profoundly impacts your health and energy daily. A $1,500 espresso machine, utilized every day for 5 years, costs less than $1 per use, likely saving you money compared to frequent coffee shop visits. This logical framework cuts through marketing gimmicks, emotional impulses, and societal pressures, revealing what truly makes financial sense versus what merely appears appealing in the moment. The second rule: apply the replacement test to everything you currently own. Walk through your home and scrutinize each item. Ask yourself a straightforward question: if this item disappeared today, would I spend money to replace it? Be honest. Would you actually buy another fondue set? Would you replace that bread maker gathering dust in the cabinet? Would you repurchase clothes you haven't worn in a year and a half? For most items, the honest answer is no. They linger in your life through inertia rather than intention, remnants of impulse purchases, gifts you felt obligated to keep, or artifacts from hobbies you've outgrown. These items carry negative value. They consume space, mental energy, and require maintenance without offering corresponding benefits. Every hour spent organizing or cleaning around items you wouldn't replace is an hour stolen from activities that genuinely matter. Minimalists ruthlessly eliminate items that fail the replacement test. They sell what has value, donate what could benefit others, and discard what serves no one. Initially, this process may feel uncomfortable, but it becomes liberating once completed. The psychological burden of owning items you don't want or need is substantial. Shedding that weight creates mental space that's difficult to articulate but immediately recognizable. Rooms feel larger, decisions become simpler, and cleaning takes half the time. You know where everything is because what remains serves a purpose. The third rule: never upgrade out of boredom. There's a recurring pattern I observe among individuals who earn a good income yet have little to show for it. They replace perfectly functional items simply because they've grown weary of them or because newer versions are available. Their television still works beautifully, but the latest model boasts slightly better contrast. Their phone functions flawlessly, yet the new release has a marginally improved camera. Their car operates reliably, but the latest model has updated styling. Their furniture serves its purpose, but they've become tired of its appearance. These upgrades may feel like improvements, but they often signify wealth destruction disguised as progress. Minimalists adhere to a strict policy: never replace something that functions properly. A phone that makes calls, sends messages, and fulfills its purpose is still valuable, regardless of the latest model's features. I'm Aria Vale. And this is the Wealth Shift. Every aspect of our lives is intertwined with the decisions we make about what to own and how to spend. When we think about our possessions, it's essential to recognize that not every item requires replacement simply because something newer or shinier comes along. For instance, a smartphone that still runs apps effectively doesn't need to be discarded just because a newer model exists. Similarly, a reliable car shouldn't be replaced simply because a neighbor has upgraded to a flashier vehicle. This mindset can save you significant amounts of money over a lifetime. The average American tends to replace their phone every 2 to 3 years, often while their previous device is still fully functional. Over just 3 decades, this habit can lead to expenses ranging from $30,000 to $50,000 in unnecessary purchases. When applied to all categories influenced by upgrade culture, the lifetime waste can easily surpass $200,000. Minimalists break free from this cycle by clearly defining what functional means. An item remains functional until it genuinely fails to serve its purpose. Boredom or a desire for novelty doesn't equate to failure. This approach allows individuals to see that the existence of newer alternatives doesn't necessitate discarding what they already own. The actual failure occurs only when an item can no longer perform its required tasks. Everything else is simply marketing convincing you to address non-existent problems. To navigate your financial decisions effectively, create friction for spending while making saving easy. Human behavior naturally gravitates toward the path of least resistance. If spending is simple and saving is difficult, you'll inevitably spend. Conversely, if saving is straightforward and spending is cumbersome, you'll save. Minimalists design their environments to make the right choice the easy choice. For instance, spending friction can be achieved by removing stored credit card information from online retailers, instituting a 24-hour waiting period before making non-essential purchases, and unsubscribing from promotional emails. On the other hand, creating ease for saving might involve automatic transfers to investment accounts on payday or treating savings like a fixed expense rather than an afterthought. These structural changes are more impactful than relying solely on willpower. Our willpower diminishes throughout the day, while our environment remains constant. Someone who depends on willpower to resist impulse purchases may ultimately fail when they're tired or stressed. By removing shopping apps and credit card access, minimalists eliminate the temptation to make impulsive purchases. They design systems that make sound decisions automatic. For example, implementing a 24-hour waiting rule can reduce about 70% of impulse purchases, as most desires for objects tend to fade within a day if not acted upon immediately. Counting your possessions regularly can also foster awareness and prevent accumulation. By selecting a category and noting how many items you own, the numbers often reveal surprising truths about your consumption patterns. Most people underestimate the number of items they possess in various categories. The act of counting can change behavior, making you more conscious of your purchases. Consider setting maximum thresholds for specific categories, such as limiting clothing to 30 items or books to 15. Adopting a one-in, one-out policy where any new purchase requires removing an existing item can prevent lifestyle creep and help you maintain intentional limits. Before making any significant purchase, consider renting or borrowing first. Many items are only used intensively for a short period before they sit unused. This approach allows you to determine whether your enthusiasm for an item is genuine or fleeting. Understanding the lifestyle multiplier effect is crucial. Each possession connects to other possessions, leading to a cascade of related expenses. For example, a boat necessitates a trailer, maintenance supplies, and storage fees. Recognizing this multiplier effect can help you make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary expenses. To break free from the cycle of constant upgrading, define what enough looks like before you start earning. Many high earners fall into the trap of never clearly defining their needs, leading to a perpetual cycle of dissatisfaction and lifestyle inflation. By determining in advance what constitutes sufficient living conditions, you can earn toward that target rather than continually adjusting your expectations. If you want to explore a more intentional approach to your finances and possessions, consider starting small. Reflect on what you truly value and how you can simplify your life. Embrace the journey of minimalism, and you may find greater satisfaction and financial freedom. By redefining your relationship with possessions, you can create a more meaningful and purposeful life. Take the time to evaluate your belongings and consider what truly adds value to your life. Remember, less can often be more. In the journey towards financial clarity, one of the most transformative concepts is understanding what enough truly means for you. It can be tempting to chase after the latest trends or to feel the pressure of upgrading your lifestyle every time your income grows. However, defining what is sufficient for your needs creates a finish line, a point where you can focus on saving and investing rather than perpetual consumption. Imagine someone who determines that their annual spending is comfortably set at $60,000. If their income later increases to $150,000, that $90,000 difference becomes a powerful tool for building wealth. This individual can channel those additional funds into savings and investments, paving the way towards financial freedom. In contrast, someone else with the same income but who continually raises their definition of enough may find themselves saving very little, trapped in a cycle where spending always outpaces income. Wealth should be measured by the optionality it affords rather than mere accumulation. Traditional views equate wealth with physical possessions, houses, cars, and other visible markers of success. However, a minimalist perspective emphasizes the freedom to choose. Can you leave a stressful job? Take time off for a family emergency? Move for love? Start a business without the burden of guaranteed income? Each of these choices reflects a deeper form of wealth, one that requires a substantial margin between income and expenses. The individual earning $200,000 yet spending $195,000 finds themselves shackled to their financial obligations, while someone earning $80,000 and spending only $45,000 enjoys remarkable freedom. This capability to embrace risks and make decisions based on preference, rather than necessity, is a hallmark of true wealth. Cyclical decluttering practices can help maintain awareness of your possessions and consumption patterns. Instead of waiting for an annual purge, regular evaluations can catch accumulation before it becomes overwhelming. By removing a few items each week, you not only create space but also cultivate a mindset focused on what truly matters. As you integrate these principles into your life, you may find that the relationship between minimalism and money is reciprocal. Owning less can lead to greater financial security, while a healthy savings account diminishes the desire to accumulate more. The emotional void often filled through spending can instead be addressed through financial strength, allowing you to break free from cycles of insecurity and consumption. Ultimately, the choice between these cycles is more significant than income level. High earners trapped in destructive spending patterns build nothing, while modest earners committed to virtuous cycles create substantial wealth. Minimalism is not about deprivation, it's about clarity regarding what genuinely enhances life satisfaction. By recognizing that life satisfaction does not scale linearly with spending, you can redirect excess towards freedom rather than accumulation. This leads to a lighter lifestyle, filled with meaningful choices rather than possessions. This is Arya Vale. And this is The Wealth Shift.